Welcome back to Behind the Game with Terri. Let's jump into the sports rundown. I need Kathy Engelbert to step to the front, please. You are doing a terrible job as commissioner. Why are you scheduling these games back to back to back? You need to let your players rest. Like, that's all we're asking for as viewers of the game, but also as fans of the game, to please let your players rest. That's all we're asking for. You had your two sophomore stars, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, the teams playing each other, but yet the two are not playing because they're injured reserve. They want to rest, they want to take a break, and you're not letting them. So now look, the views have backfired just because your two star players, sophomore players, are not participating. Now, how does that make you look as a commissioner? It doesn't make you look good at all. I'm just letting you know that now. So, Kathy, I'm always going to be on your neck about the WNBA players. Please, let's get it together. Let's give it up for Coach Prime, a.k.a. Coach Deion Sanders, for beating bladder cancer. We're sending love and prayers to you and your family. And we're glad that you're back, and we're glad that you're okay, and let's get this season started. I'm also going to need Candace Parker to step to the front. I have just one question and one question only. That's all. Why do you keep bringing up Angel Reese every single time you go on any podcast? I am so confused. Angel Reese really looks up to you and it really admires you. And all you can do is really talk about this girl and talk bad about this girl and her game. One thing about Angel Reese, she's always going to improve. Every single year, she's always going to improve. So for you to sit here, to go on these podcasts and keep running your mouth about her, I feel like it's underlying issues that you have. So we're going to really need to either tone it back or address them, or just don't talk about Angel Reese at all. Like, you are one of the most decorated WNBA players I know. Why you keep putting Angel Reese down? Why you keep talking about Angel Reese? That's all I'm just going to ask. Okay? And now a moment of silence, please. Now let's jump into players' perspective with Jessica Crosson.
Jess Crosson, Group Sales Manager with the Miami Marlins.
And we're going to get this interview rolling. So, you got fans in the seats, lights are bright, and it's game day in Miami. Jess, if your career had a walk-up song, what would it be and why?
I've thought about this a lot because it's changed over the years. Because when I was in inside sales, we actually picked up a walk-up song, and it would play every time we made a sale. So I was in Pittsburgh. So that in 2019 was My House by Flo Rida.
Okay.
I kept it for a minute.
Okay.
But I've recently changed to My House by Beyonce. Because, let's keep the theme, but let's amp it up a little. But then I was also like, I need some positivity. So I went with my ultimate feel-good song, which is Just Fine by Mary J. Blige, because of course. So as of now, that is my current walk-up song.
I love it.
It goes hard.
It goes it's so good. So how did your time at California University of Pennsylvania shape the way you navigate the sports business world today?
Yeah, I loved Cal. It is a very, very small school in California, Pennsylvania, so that confuses a lot of people.
Yes, it confused me.
There is a town called California. It is in Pennsylvania. Our rivals are Indiana University of Pennsylvania, which is Indiana in Pennsylvania. We got a lot going on in Pennsylvania. But I was actually a public relations major, communication studies, and then went down the PR route, and then I had a minor in acting. I did theater growing up, so I was like, this should just be fun, but then I was also like, I'll do acting because there's a lot of speech components to it with phonetics and all that type of stuff. So it was looking at everything in a different light, but I was still trying to have fun with it. And then I was in a lot of extracurriculars, super type A. This will not surprise anyone as they watch this interview. But all that to say, I joined our student activities board. So I got a lot of experience on the event management side. I did all of our evening events. So large scale comedy shows, concerts, little hands-on activities, different things of a variety of levels. But then I graduated a semester early, so I graduated in December of 2018. But the year prior, so I maybe had a year with this, we had a WISE chapter that started at Cal. We were one of the first collegiate chapters for WISE, Women in Sports and Events, which is a national organization, but then we were at the collegiate level. So fortunately, we got to go to WISE Pittsburgh events a lot. And so that's how I started to get a little bit more into the sports side of things. I was always torn. Do I want to do sports? Do I want to do entertainment? I had a variety of internships in sports. I did some with entertainment agencies. I was like, I think I want to be an agent on like the entertainment side, but then I was like doing community relations. I was doing marketing. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew it was going to be sports or entertainment. So all of that to say then, fortunately, my connections through WISE actually got me my inside sales role with the Pirates. their HR team had reached out to the president at the time, Kelly Hanna is her name, and she thought of me because we had just talked at this Women of Inspiration Award, which I was like so happy to be there because they were recognizing Swin Cash, and I'm a UConn fan through and through because my dad went there, all of his sisters went there. I don't know how I ended up in Pennsylvania, but I did.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, and she's from Pittsburgh, and she's a UConn girl, and I was like gushing to her, and then like Kelly like pulled me aside and was like, hey, so like you're graduating, like what are you gonna do? I was like, oh, real talk, okay. And then she thought of me and reached out about the sales role, and I remember going into that interview being like, I don't want to be a sleazy salesperson. Like I was thinking like car salesman. I was like, that's not me. I don't want to be pushy like that. And they in the interview they're like, will you just like essentially shut up and like listen and like try this? And I was like, fair enough. And now clearly here I am, like 7 years later, or however many years it's been now. So my time at Cal was great. I liked being at the small, intimate school because I got a lot of opportunities to try a lot of different things. I feel like the bigger the school you go to, obviously the more people there are, so the harder it is to do that. Yeah. But I really feel like I got to do everything I wanted to do. I had to drop playing soccer when I went to college. That was like the one thing for me because I was like, I'm probably not going to go pro. Probably not going to do that, so I should probably, figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. But still supported the girls, so it was cool. But yeah, I love Cal. Yeah. I still rep them hard. They're called Penn West now, so if anyone's trying to do research on it, I'm not lying. They just did a real rebrand. Now it's called Penn West University. I don't claim that though. I claim Cal U. So.
So you joined the Marlins in March 2021, right in the heat of the pandemic. What was it like stepping into sports sales at such a wild time?
Yeah, I think you ask anyone, like, period, in life, like, I often think back, like, how did we all get by? Like, I sat in my room, like, so long, and I'm like, now that would drive me insane. So I'm just like, all right, like, it's all insanity, but I moved down here from Pittsburgh in January of 2020. So, I'm doing I'm a young professional. I'd gotten a role with Inter Miami at the time to be a group sales account executive. So I was so excited. I was so excited to be part of a startup team. I was like, soccer in Miami, it just makes sense. It was David's team. So I was like, we've got the name. We've got everything we need. It's going to be successful. It's also when I learned I really should learn how to speak Spanish very quickly. Nobody could have predicted a pandemic. That's certainly not their fault. It's nobody's fault, of course. But that's why I ended up being like, I think I need to move somewhere with a little bit more structure, a little more stability. So, I went through kind of the whole COVID year. March of 21 had moved over here just to give you like that background because most of the pandemic I was with Inter Miami. But moving here and back to baseball, I was like, I love the sport, cool with it, 81 home games. All right, we're back. When I moved here, we were doing pod seating. So fortunate to live in Florida where they were allowing, we didn't fully shut down, like there was still some signs of life around. So when I came here in March of 21, I started maybe a week, max 2 before the season kicked off. So a big change, like everyone, fortunately, also trying to figure out, how do we sell pod seating? Like, can we sell groups? How does that work? Is it one group is, you're kind of split with rows in between. We were seats were zip tied. It was a strange, I actually kind of liked it as a rep because for me to go visit a client, it was easy. I could slide in that open row and but you're walking around with masks. So you don't really know what people look like. It's hot. We're just like, ugh. So such a strange time. It was really interesting. Would love to never go through it again. But glad that we got through it. It definitely gives you a different perspective on things. So when you're trying to find the positives to crappy situations, you can try to find some, we did it. That's a lot of tenacity to stay in sports, especially through that time. A lot of people left sports during that time, which I get, in ticket sales, your income is predominantly on sales. It's commission based. So it's your base salary isn't going to get you by, especially in Miami. It's not supposed to, because you could make a good amount of money in commission too, if you're really rocking. But it was a big question mark time, and I'm glad to not be in that anymore.
What are some of the challenges you face while being a woman in sports?
There's a lot. Yeah. I will say, women in sports and women's sports has grown exponentially over the past few years. I always say there's no better time to be in women's sports, period, right now. Yeah. So it's great to see that boom. Clearly, we were just talking about the Asia ones and everything going on there. So shout out to the Asia ones if you can't see them.
Love her. Period. Gonna go buy some soon.
Support our girl. Yes. Anyway, shameless plug. All that to say, it's the same for women in other male-dominated fields, women in construction, women in law, women in tech, everything. It's just like sports. When people think it, they tend to think male sports versus women in sports. So, kind of it is what it is. It comes with the territory. What you're walking into. I think it's really important that, you create what we call your own personal board of ambassadors and things like that, board of directors. So it's all about the people that you keep with you and remembering your why. So it's like we talked about it a little bit with like the fans and like why, ticket sales and that side of things, but it does tie into sports. So things for me like starting a women's network, doing events like that, and different things there, being in Wise, like doing the different community work I do through Leadership Miami and different programs there. Like those are my whys. Like those keep me going. Like on days where it can get tough, in sports and everything there for a variety of reasons. Game didn't go the way you wanted, sale didn't close when you thought it was going to. Tough conversation that you might have to have with a rep or a member of your leadership team, anything like that. I mean, it's normal whether you're in sports or you're not. But I think just, surrounding yourself and like having allies that, in rooms you aren't in, they're talking about you in a positive light.
Yeah.
And then also for you, like having people that you can lean on, male or female. I think it's not just like the men, like, oh, like men need to do better, blah, all this. Like it's on women too. Not everyone's a girl's girl.
Not everyone's a girl's girl.
It is what it is. Couldn't be me. But with that, it's like, we can all lift while we climb. Yeah. That's how it should be. That's what the mentality should be. It should never be, I'll tell you about it. Like we're all like in sports, like we're competitors. We get it. It's all of that type of stuff. But with it, it's like, there's room. Yeah. There's room for everyone. Like you don't like, they always say, what is it? The, people might not remember like what you did for them, but they're always going to remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
There's room for everyone, so it's like lift as you climb and we'll get through it. And then find your allies, find the people you can lean on, because you do still at this point have to have, the male allies. Like if you're not in that room, you're not in that room. How can you get in that room? Whether it's physical or it's your name's being brought up in a positive light.
In a positive light. That's
because that part, that's the asterisk right there.
Right.
Because you got to be careful with that one. It's that side of things. And then I was definitely going to go somewhere else with this, but I lost it.
Okay.
So.
The Marlins are hosting their annual Women Empowerment Night. What does that night mean to you, and how do you think events like that are helping reshape the future of women in sports?
Yes, that's my baby. That's my baby here. So we launched that in 2021, so my first year here as well. At that time, we had Kim Ng, first female GM, and then we also still currently have Caroline. So she's the one of two, I still believe it's only two, female presidents in the Major League Baseball system. So awesome team to be. It's a huge reason why I was drawn to the Marlins originally, because I just felt in a very dark time, COVID. They had a lot of positivity, whether it was community work, different things on social challenges, or, having two top tier women in sports. Yep. I was like, that feels like it's for me. So joined the team, launched the Women Empowerment Night. At its base level, it's a special ticket package that includes, of course, your ticket to the game, some type of giveaway item, and then also a donation. The donation component to me is super important because I want to make sure we're giving back. Yeah, like we can do fun baseball things all the time, but this corporate social responsibility side is huge to me. So we'll work with groups like Girl Power Rocks, Girls Inc., Suited for Success, Dress for Success, all that type of stuff, a variety of different ones. And we'll change it like year over year depending on different things. But there's that component. On the items this year, we're doing a jersey. So our creative team, I say it all the time, but they just cook. That's all they do. They did our City Connect. As you can see, I'm wearing that here. But they just cooked. So they did a jersey that's like a hat tip to Effa Manley, who is the first woman in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Okay. So you can do some more research on her. She did a lot of work in the Negro Leagues and up in Newark. So she's a Northern girly. But hat tip to her. So we'll have those jerseys. First time we've had jerseys as the giveaway item. We've done t-shirts for 2 years. We did wine glass. We did clear fanny pack. A lot of the, Actually I Can, or Empowered Women Empower Miami, all of those slogans. So this is our first time doing a jersey. So I think that'll really elevate it. And then on the programming side, we always give people access to a pregame panel, and we'll feature different community leaders. Sometimes we'll do internal people, like Kim had spoken on it before, Caroline had spoken on it, or I've just done the intro. Kelly Sacco, always our host.
Love her.
Icon. Truly, and she'll go down to the last second before she has to do her game day responsibilities. So truly, shout out Kelly for year over year. But it's an awesome event, and we just see, you get the same. This is what, year 5 now that we're going into for it. So you see the same people attend year over year, and then they bring in people, and that word of mouth like kind of organically flows. But then we'll switch it up a little bit too, so it's always different. We'll add a new element. This is going to be the 3rd year that we recognize 5 community game changers. So it again expands, and it might be people that maybe they didn't even know about, and we're like, hey, like we see you, like we know you're out here doing this good work, like we want to recognize you as part of like our Women Empowerment Night. So it helps again grow the game beyond baseball. And we're not just recognizing women in sports. We had the CEO of Girl Scouts of Tropical Florida here last year. We had CEO and founder of Women Who Rock in Miami. So we do entrepreneurs, we do C-level executives. We had Brittany Bassant, who is now the CEO of Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce. She was 2 years ago And then she came back last year as like, you know, hey, come back and like she threw out the first pitch and she did it in heels. So like, period. It couldn't be me, but she did it.
Right. She's trooper.
She did it. So we do things like that, and it just really ties in. And then we'll do a handful of different, we call those fan experiences. So first pitch, a lineup card delivery, a rosin bag, our play ball announcement. We try to make it like women everything.
Right.
Just so the feeling's there when you're at the ballpark. We'll do in-game trivia, but my favorite thing is our guys the past 2 years now have actually changed their walk-up song. So huge for us to be able to have that happen. They don't have to do it.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't have to do it. I don't know how much pressure they get on their side, but we essentially just ask our comms team and they'll go back to them and, you know, they kind of like get on top of them for it. So I'm super appreciative because I really think it adds to the night. You know, people have their superstitions, but thank you for changing it. Please change it again this year. Because it really does add. It's like one of my favorite things to see like what songs they're choosing and everything there too. And you get such a good diversity of songs too because we do have a super like diverse team. But yeah, I love our women empowerment night. It's more than just baseball. It's a lot of community give back, and then it's just like a fun night. It's exhausting. I'm tired by the end of it.
Yeah,
but
it's worth it.
Always.
All right. So you have any shout outs you want to give out?
I'll shout out the Marlins fam. One, thank you for letting me do this. And then also just shout out to my Marlins Women's Network. Appreciate all the work that you guys do and the willingness to help us create something new here. Shout out Terri for having me on the show and everything. And to our Wise family, you know, for connecting us and getting us together. And, you know, we'll continue to grow things here. And then naturally you have to. I'd be the worst daughter in the world if I didn't shout out my family. So shout out to the fam back up in Pennsylvania. Hope you guys visit soon.
Right. Well, all right. We're about to play Terry's Ballpark. So Jess is going to answer either or type of style questions, and it's going to be either a home run or a strike. So are you ready?
Yes.
Alrighty. So bringing your dog to bark at the park. Of
home
course.
Run, period. I'm trying to get my dog out here. I just adopted him. He's scared of the world, but maybe in September.
I love her dog. Mascot races during the 7th inning stretch.
Always. I come from Pittsburgh. We did pierogies. We got roosters here now.
Yes.
You might see a peacock. So very Miami.
Yes.
Gotta have a mascot race.
Yes. Wearing heels on game day from first pitch to final out.
Okay. This is a personal preference. I love a good heel, but to go through a whole business day and then a whole game,
strike.
I'm gonna personally strike out. Like I can't do it.
A client ghosting you after touring the ballpark.
Immediate out. Not just a strike. Immediate out. Because why did you do me like that?
Your team hitting quota and the execs taking all the credit.
Yeah. Immediate out. Immediate 2 weeks.
Lead.
Immediate 2 weeks. But that would never happen here. They would never do that.
Planning a theme night that goes viral on social media.
Been there, done that. Shout out SpongeBob Day.
Period.
And Flanagan's Fest. That's next weekend.
Oh.
Very Miami.
So last thing, being a woman in sports and sales. Always.
It'd be weird if I said strike, right?
Right.
No, home run.
Always.
More women in sales.
Period. Now let's get ready for Terry's Sports Drip. Let's talk about the top 5 best dressed WNBA players. We have Anissa Morrow. She is so stunning. Every single time she steps out on the pregame looks, kills it every single time. Dejanay Carrington, come to the front, honey. I need to know your ab routine, the makeup. I need to know who lays your hair. I need to know it all, please. Let's have Angel Reese also come to the front. Honey, I just heard you have stylists in every city. I need the money that you have, please. Rakia Jackson, girl, you are 10s across the board, honey. Like 10s across the board. And then Sydney Colson, you are one funny girl, but also you know how to dress. Now it's time for the 3-point play.
My 3 tips for anybody thinking about getting into sports. Number 1 would be build your own network. You need to create your own luck. There's nothing stopping you from going out there and meeting people, connecting with people online. If you wait for others to build your network for you, it might not work out. Number 2, you want to be a student of the game. So you want to study what others are doing in sports. It's very rare that in the sports industry there's a brand new idea that's never been done before. It's a lot of the same ideas recycled over and over again. So study what others are doing in sports. Number 3 would be if you're interested in sports, find the part of sports that you're passionate about. So for me, it was like I always got a kick out of what a game day environment was like, and I wanted to see what would it be like to work on the other end of that. So think about what actually interests you in the industry, not just that you like following sports, but is there a specific sector that interests you, and then own that and make that the part that you're passionate about and that you pursue.
Thank you all for watching Behind the Game with Terri, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.